Hi, my name is Chris Bertz, CPA from John A. Knutson Company. Are you considering buying an electric or hybrid vehicle at the end of 2022 or beginning of 2023? The Inflation Reduction Act made major changes to the plug-in electric drive vehicle credit, including changing which vehicles are eligible for the credit and how it's calculated. Previously, the credit was allowed for new qualified plug-in electric drive motor vehicles. Now the provision has been changed to new clean vehicles, effectively changing the name to the new clean vehicle credit. So what do you need to know? The first thing you need to know is that the rules will phase in over time. Starting after August 15th, 2022, there is a requirement that it must have a North American final assembly, where the old credit had no such requirement. There is also a source material requirement, meaning that an increasing percentage of critical minerals in the battery must come from the US or another fair trade agreement country. The required battery capacity of the vehicle has been increased to 7 kilowatt-hour from 4. The third item that you need to consider is the new credit removes the manufacturer limitation. Previously, most popular electric and hybrid car brands such as Tesla were not eligible for the credit since they exceeded the manufacturer limitation. This means the credit started to phase out once 200,000 vehicles were purchased from that manufacturer. These vehicles will now be eligible for the new credit. The fourth item is that while more vehicles are now eligible for the credit, there is now an MSRP limitation. MSRP is the manufacturer's suggested retail price. No credit will be allowed for passenger vehicles with MSRPs that exceed $55,000. Vans, SUVs, and pickup trucks have an MSRP limit of $80,000. This MSRP limit applies to vehicles placed into service after December 31st, 2022. The fifth item is there is now an income limitation with the new credit. So if your modified adjusted gross income exceeds $300,000, if you're filing joint or surviving spouse, $225,000 if you're filing head of household, or $150,000 if you're filing single, you do not qualify for the credit. And finally, the calculation of the credit has changed, but the maximum credit still stays at $7,500. The seventh item is the credit has been expanded to include the purchase of used vehicles, although at a reduced credit amount, maxing out at $4,000 or 30% of the purchase price. Now be aware that the new credit is in effect starting January 1st, 2023. Depending on the facts provided, you may want to consider whether you make that electric or hybrid vehicle purchase here in 2022 yet, or wait until 2023. Another point worth noting is that if you had a binding purchase agreement prior to August 16th, 2022, you can still claim the credit under the old law. For more information and advice on the new credit, reach out to your JAK representative.